Greetings, people of Earth. It is I, Gibral's Prime, and today we're going to be talking about Shazam of the New 52. You can tell he is a man because his name has an exclamation point at the end of it. That's how badass he is. Now, if you watch the Shazam movie, it's basically how it is in the movie. There's not much to talk about. But I'm going to talk about the character's history for a minute before we get into the actual book. Now, Billy Batson, Shazam, Captain Marvel, whatever it goes by nowadays, is a character owned by DC, but back then, the 40s, he was DC's biggest competitor. They were owned by Fawcett Comics. His books were called Captain Marvel, because back in the 30s, he was not the 30s, the 40s, he was Captain Marvel before Marvel used the name for their characters. Anyway, his first appearance was in Wiz Comics number 2, which was the very first issue of Wiz Comics. Comic books can be confusing. Anyway, in his first appearance, he was a hopeful kid, pure of heart. He left in the streets. He slept in the subways, I'm assuming anyway, it was just implied. And he met the wizard Shazam! Or Shazam, without the explanation point right here. And just gonna have a bite of my toast. That's good toast. Really, really good toast. I was saying, it was owned by Fawcett Comics. He had his very own movie, which was the very first superhero movie, The Adventures of Captain Marvel. That's an actual thing. Look it up. IMDb. The episodes, you can watch them for free on YouTube because, well, they were black and white episodes at the time. And I'm guessing those Adventures of Captain Marvel thing were the first one of me that depicted Billy Batson as a teenager, not a kid. Weird, ain't it? Anyway. This is really good toast. Wow. DC bought Fawcett Comics in the 50s and started selling the Shazam books, or Captain Marvel at the time, in the 60s as a whole separate universe from the main DC universe. Billy would later be incorporated into the main DC universe via Crisis on Infinite Earths. Man, that's good toast. Wow. And there's that. That's the history of Captain Marvel in DC universe. This book is part of the New 52. I'll bring the camera up to the corner. The New 52. In this book, Billy is in the foster system. He gets brought in by the Vandalis family. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I'm not so sure myself. Anyway, he makes his foster siblings, which I only remembered a few names of, who are Freddie, Mary, let's see, who else? Eugene, Darla, and Pesco. I think that's all of them. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's all of them. Anywho, I'm gonna get my hand out of the camera. Bloop. In this book, he meets the wizard Shazam, who's old and disheveled at the moment, who was looking for a champion who is pure of heart. And Billy, Billy in the New 52 continuity, anyway, breaks down that there's no pure-hearted person. If there is someone that's that pure of heart, they're being used or manipulated. And the Wizard Shazam takes that info to heart and decides to change up his recruitment strategy. Now, instead of looking for someone pure of heart, You should be looking for someone with the capacity to do good things. And he sees that in Billy. He gives Billy the power of Shazam and tells him, "Say my name. Say Shazam." Billy's like, "Shazam?" Expecting transformation, nothing happens, and the wizard tells him he has to shout his name with proud out of pride. And Billy shouts it like the title, Shazam! And he becomes Shazam, the world's mightiest mortal. And him and Freddy, just like in the movie, they get into some trouble, do some fun. And Billy, he really doesn't want to return to being a kid. He just wants to stay in his Captain Marvel form, his Shazam form. But then Black Adam shows up, causes trouble and chaos. And Billy, being a kid, he gets scared. He gets beaten down by Adam. Then he de-transforms and goes to hide. Then he meets up with his foster siblings again. He reveals to them his transformation into Shazam. He grants them some of his power. When together they fight Black Adam. I don't know why I said Captain Adam earlier. I'm not sure if I said Captain Adam or Black Adam when I first mentioned the guy. So somebody correct me in the comments, please. Wow. That was real good toast. Wow. Anyway, the way Black Adam is beaten in this book is by Billy tricking him into de-transforming. Since Black Adam was imprisoned for centuries, he's in his Black Adam form, not his Tet Adam form. So Black Adam says the transformation word of Shazam! And before you get confused, Billy Batson Shazam is the Greek gods, Captain Adam Shazam is the Egyptian gods. That good? Good. And as Black Adam, why do I have Captain Adam on my brain for some reason? Because I read Armageddon 2001. I don't know. Anyway, Black Adam turns to dust and dishevels. Moves into dust. Here, I'll show the page. So here is everything. This page is the part where Billy Batson tricks him into de-transforming. Look. Shazam! See, for Black Adam, different because he has 2 exclamation points, not 1. And then here he is as Tet Adam. They talk for a little bit. Tet sees his reflection. Billy remarked that he hasn't been de-transformed in a long time. And then Tet tries to attack him, and look, he just turns into dust and withers away. That would be the less painful comic book death, that's what I'm saying. And this is the last time we see Black Adam in the New 52. I think, anyway. I'm not so sure myself. Another thing, this book was written by Jeff Johns with art by Gary Frank. And this isn't their first collaboration together. Their first collaboration would have to be Batman Earth 1. Their next would have been I believe Superman Secret Origins and then Superman Brainiac. I'm not so sure about that myself, really. I'm a casual fan, not a deep lore expert fan. And at the end of the book, Dr. Savannah, I don't know if I mentioned him before or not. Long story short, he's the guy that frees Black Adam from his tomb. Anyway, sneaks into the Rock of Eternity, aka this guy is Space. I shouldn't have to say his name again. You know it, Shazam. And meets up with this little weird space caterpillar. I'm assuming he's from space anyway. I'm not sure. So sure, I'm going to look that up. I'm just kidding. He is from space. Called Dr. Professor Mind. And they team up. By the end of the page saying the beginning. Meaning this is just the first adventure for Captain Marvel. I'm not calling him Shazam. It's confusing. With the wizard. And yeah, that's Shazam for New 52. Second vid for Justice June. And he does join the Justice League in like Volume 8 and Volume 9 of the Dark Side War storyline. This is all I got to say. Good book, good writing. Art could use a little work. That's all I got. Later. Oh, and one more thing. It's from the pages of Justice League. So yeah. Later, Gators. Dribbleless Prime out.